always come first. If he has troubles again, if he cannot play for
sure.
one or another reason, we will make it somehow, because his career is more important than a few online games. So yeah, he's just doing everything he can just to get better. And yeah, I mean, I think so far he's been looking pretty good, as he has been the past 6 months.
MBK, there's so much pressure on the shoulders of OG. There's so much expectation because of the players that you have. I mean, you, for example, you're a legend.
Yeah.
What is it going to take for OG to really threaten that top 5?
I mean, we can take games here and there. We can beat some top 5 teams for sure. We've proven that in RMR and the last year's Pro League. Now it's a matter of consistency and not being challenged by the teams that are below us as well. To me, it is very important that in order to secure a top 10 spot, top 8 spot, to not be frightened by the teams that are like top 20, top 30. And so that comes with consistency. So we really need to have our game very clear, consistently produce individual performances that are relevant to a top 5 level, and that's the only way we can make it. I mean, there's no way around it. Like, all the top 5 teams are extremely good individually. They have everything set and locked down, and we have to be the same way. Like, we cannot have any excuse that we are an international team. We have this, we have that. We're all on the same level. We chose to make that team, and it's up to us to just be better and work and win.
Well, we'd love to ask you about NIP, but we've run out of time because you need to go and get ready to play a match. So thank you so much for joining us, MBK. Good luck to OG. And, well, they need consistency, but do they have a good enough game in the first place, Hugo?
I mean, we'll have to wait and see, right? Like, that's a big question mark, I think, for every team coming into this tournament. What have they worked on in the player break? How are those map pools going to be changing? Have teams, taken the bad maps and improved them? Have they just refined their better maps and tried to stay fresh? There's going to be a lot of question marks, especially for a team like OG, who have been playing games recently, versus NIP, who haven't touched Counter-Strike officials. And so for OG in this matchup, how much research can they really do on a new, fresh NIP squad? Not a lot.
I'm really interested to see what happens once we're ready for the veto, because NIP, they've just started playing Dust 2. They've got that double AWP setup. They know they can place Nork and they can place Twist on that map. In fact, we're ready for the veto right now. So I want to see if my prediction's right. I also am thinking Inferno for OG. I know Mirage is their comfort pick, Harry. But let's go ahead and get into this one. Predictions?
Yeah. I don't really, that's the thing, coming out of the player break, I always think it's a lot harder to know what teams are going to lean towards, right? Like, this isn't the case that you're going to be like, because, you pitched us 2 as a possibility. I think it's very, very likely that we see it in this series, but it's more about, like, who's the team to pick into it, right? Because that's also a very good map for OG. That said, bearing in mind this AWPing change, I feel like, how much consideration are they going to weigh on something like that? It is the Inferno pick from OG. Frankie, you're off to a good start here. Let's see if we get a bit of Dust 2. It's actually going to be Train from NIP. Now, I see you looking a little bit disappointed there, Frankie, but I understand why this one's come in. This was one of the maps that we saw Nork really start to pick that AWP up in the beginning, and he looks so damn good on it. I think the double AWP of him and Twist on Train is absolutely devastating. So I'm very happy that we have that appearing in the pool right now.
Yeah, don't be surprised to see Dust 2 as a third here. It's actually going to be banned out by NIP. They don't want to take on OG here, and I think that's good as well. If you know that you've been doing prep on Dust 2, save it for later. Save it for an opponent that maybe doesn't main this map, because, OG do love a bit of Dust as well. The Vertigo nuke bans coming in first, that's normal. NIP showed a lot of promise on Vertigo near the end of Letcro inside of this team, and, of course, OG on nuke, that's an Alexi B classic. So, yeah, Inferno being our first map of the series, this is where you love to start.
But it feels like NIP, they really want this. We've already talked about them rebuilding themselves. OG, if it goes to 3 maps, maybe they're going to regret picking Mirage, because there is so much evidence out there of how OG plays Mirage. We know how much Alexi B likes this map, Harry. I just feel like if it goes to 3 maps, it's got to go the way of the Ninjas.
Yeah, it's one of those situations, right, where you've tried to, lean into a comfortable middle ground map at the end, and, it is one that maybe on paper OG seem like the better team on, but I think you're dead on in the sense that there's a lot more evidence to go off of, right? You have a lot more research here. You've been playing since the moment that player break came to an end.
And that's why these opening games are cool as well, because, these teams have known their matchup for a while now. So NIP, I'm sure they've been sweating those demos as of late, and I think that's going to really play in their favor. I think they're favorites anyway, regardless of the map pool, regardless of previous results. But yeah, OG's work is cut out for them, rather.
And I'll give you one little bit of tidbit of information, I should say. Okay. I believe NIP, they're playing on a boot camp, right? They're playing together in the same space.
Ooh.
OG, meanwhile, Jordan Airport is shut. Issa cannot leave his country. He's literally going to be playing on the worst ping of all these players on the server. It's going to be a particularly difficult one for him. So I don't want to put extra pressure on his shoulders by reminding him of that. Hopefully he's not watching, right? He's getting ready to go. But that could be a deciding factor in his performance, potentially, Hugo.
Yeah, I think you know, we're going to see like an even bigger push towards boot camps while online play is still a thing. Because I think it's the only way that you can get back to that, like, that LAN feeling vibe where you're seeing your teammates every day, where you're able to sit down, you know, and talk things through face to face. Because, you know, it's never the same online. Like, as we learned in that Dupree interview, he said that he feels like he has so many more hours in the day now of free time. And it's like, well, you know, that free time normally.
OG, we know how chaotic their communication can be. Yeah. It's not that they don't get on, it's just that there's a lot of passion behind their relationship, a lot like you two.
Yeah, we even saw some of the comm videos back in London at the start of the year where you would see like LXCB trying to call something out of spawn and like there'd be people talking over each other and LXCB would have to like take back the conversation like, guys, stop, this is what we're doing. And that's when, you know, I go back to what you said earlier where you talk about too many cooks in the kitchen. Again, I imagine that's something that's been ironed out and sorted out over time, but I really hope that doesn't play into, especially with things being online, you know, hurting OG here. I really want them to try and, you know, show us what they can do.
Well, we're waiting for MBK to connect to the match. As soon as he does, we're going to be kicking off with our first series. But let's just look ahead to the rest of ESL 1 Cologne. Europe in particular, 16 teams. Of course, Big are the ones to watch. You can watch them on the B stream. They'll be kicking off against Sprout about now. So open up a new tab so you can check that one out. Do we think that Big are going to win their home event finally, Harry?
Ooh, well, it's like, you know, if we look at the recent results, Big have been on the up and up. Like, they've been such an exciting team to keep an eye on, right? The journey that they've embarked on, the fact that they have 2 ex-Sprout players in that lineup in Searson and Keto, who for me were like hands down the best players in Sprout back then, now moved over to Big. It's been such a storyline, right? Like watching this Big squad just go from strength to strength. So I would love to think that they could come here to Cologne and put up a damn good fight at the very, very least. And the one thing that's interesting to me is like in that matchup, as we heard from Fabian in an interview with HLTV, is he said that those domestic matchups, they often end up with the underdog winning. And I'm inclined to agree with him, right? Because it does feel like that much more chaotic. There's history between these teams. They know each other very, very intimately. And Big, like going into something as the favorites, if it doesn't go your way out of the gate, that is like quite the mental drain. And we've seen it happen time and time before.
Yeah, on the flip side, I do want to combat that with the idea that, well, look at Big's last event win back at DreamHack Masters. Think about that BO5 Grand Final versus G2 where they're down multiple maps, the map advantage. Even Mirage is the 5th map. They pulled it all the way back and take a victory. Like, Big are not a team that are going to give up when they're down. They're not going to, you know, surrender because, oh, we had a bad first half. Like, I think this is Big's tournament. I think this is their chance, especially with it being online, for them to really make a run. And that opening game is going to be a big deciding factor.
Well, the opening game's about to start right now on the B stream. I believe it's the same URL as this stream. You just have to type B on the end. So new window, another tab, because I don't want you guys to leave us because we have, of course, got our opening A group game going live really, really soon. The thing with Big, it's really interesting because I also did some, what we call like, I guess, an ESL speed session when we were recording the interviews last week. And when you say online CS to these players, half of them say Big. They just seem to be putting it down to the fact that the Big are in this office together, they're playing, they're making the most of online. But Big, they've always been a sophisticated team in terms of their strats, the way they use utility. People seem to just be underestimating them, Hugo, and I just don't understand why.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't answer that for you, Frankie. I think the underestimating stage has gone, right? When they were, you know, 20th in the world, you know, back in Meisterschaft, for example, taking on Sprout, even losing that there, maybe, yeah, you can make that argument. But now, like, all eyes are on Big, and that's the pressure. That's where we see teams that come up from the bottom and rise to the top have trouble because everyone's preparing for them. Everyone's watching the demos. You have to stay fresh. You have to constantly update your strategies because, yeah, you know, no one's thinking, oh, yeah, Big, they'll be fine. We'll deal with them easily. No, they're #1 in the world on ESL World Ranking right now. No one's sleeping on Big.
And outside of the top 10, we've got Astralis.
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing them later on today in our second matchup on the A stream against Fnatic. They're bringing yet another new lineup to this tournament that we're going to talk about later on today. We're going to finally see Attack, who we haven't seen play since March. I feel like the pressure's even more on their shoulders than Big's.
Yeah, you know, it's one of these things. I always think that, like, for new additions into a roster, especially with that Astralis situation, right? But even, like, drawing some parallels between Hampus and NIP, I think coming off the player break is great for that, because you've had this time where everyone else, for the most part, is going to be, you know, like, taking it a little bit easy. And you've had this month to, like, reinvent yourself and really start to put the hours in. And so I do think that, like, with Bubsky and S-Tag now debuting in Astralis today, I really think we're going to see a hell of a lot from them, you know, like, because this has been a change that we've been waiting to see in the server for so damn long, and now we get to see it. You don't want to show up and be like, oh, I just took a month and a bit off though, like, I'm not really feeling it. Like, you know, you want to be in the server and you want to be the best guy there, hands down. And in a team of stars like Astralis, you best damn well have done your homework and put the hours in, because that's how you're going to do it.
Oh, I'm so excited for that matchup, but I'm also really excited for the matchup we're about to get into, NIP versus OG. I am kind of curious to hear what you guys think is going to go down on the server. Hugo, are you predicting a 2-0?
Oh, I don't know about 2-0. I am going to predict NIP for this one, right? Like, you know, just coming off the back of the player break, coming in fresh, new in-game leader, switch up of roles, Threat, coaching as well. We know the coaches can have input and impact online, and Threat's always been so good at that. So for me, it's NIP. But let's see. I'm just here for good Counter-Strike, Frankie.
Well, I'm here for NIP and OG. I'm going to say NIP, but now I'm going to say, Harry, take it away, because we're about to open up our opening series of ESL 1 Cologne 2020 on Inferno.
It's day one. It's the first best of 3, and it's NIP taking on OG. Oh boy, we've been waiting all damn month for this, and we're ready to get into the pistol round.
Yes, indeed, and Inferno, where every good series usually ends, Harry, but today, it's where every good series starts, and you know for sure this is going to be a good series. OG on that T side, it's going to be NIP with a little bit of utility, double smoke, and a quad stack over towards our A bomb site, taking a bit of a gamble, hoping OG don't rush their way, or rush the way of the B site rather, but OG, they're walking right into this trap.
Ooh, they are. They're into the apartments, Hugo. They're sneaking on in. And right now, OG, they're probably thinking like, they don't know what's about to come their way. Little do they know, NIP might know what's about to come their way. This is terrifying. This is, you know, forget about a flock of seagulls. This is a flock of Swedes down in this A bomb site, and they are ready and raring to go. OG might be about to meet their demise here. They flash on out. No one's blind. Twist down in the pit. He gets away with some damage. MBK gonna come in with a response, but they still don't know about Rez. And he could be such a key player in this round, right? The longer Twist was able to stay alive, the more valuable this position becomes, but Valda is ready for it. Nork and Plopsky left in a 2v4 retake, and OG, with Braun behind them, they've got into this site.
That was a great clear from Valde. And OG, I love the abs drops that they always go for on this map. Everyone knows their role. Everyone knows what position to clear, and they leave no stone unturned. NIP, they might have to turn their backs, because with that Moto smoke down and no kit available, this is looking like a lock-in for OG. Plopsky with a CZ smoke still could save this, but you want to go for a little bit of extra money, catch some exit kills on the way out. OG are going to have to get away from that bomb site and moving back into the middle. Nork will find nothing from his position. And Plopsky, he's going to hear some footsteps and hopefully try and strike them in the back here. But they actually go right past. And yeah, saving weapons, that's fine. Saving a bit, this and that. Valde dies to the bomb, but it really doesn't matter at this point. OG find the pistol. And NIP, the question is, Force or Eco? Where are we going with this one, Harry?
Yeah, and also, like, that's a bit of a devastating pistol round, considering the fact that OG go running into an extremely stacked A bomb site. Valde really does, like, do a hell of a lot there. Deals with the first man at pit. At that point in time, they've got, what, like 2 kills in towards the A bomb site, and he's still ready and waiting, gets himself another, and with it, the pistol goes their way. So now NIP, they go for the Force buy, Hugo. You were wondering if they were going to go for it, and they have. Scout on Nork, trying to take a little peek down through middle, and oh, there is someone waiting on the other side, and that man is man 2. Don't want to find yourself on the other side of him anytime soon. Only 2 players over here towards B. NIP have to try and hold on with this Force buy. And OG are taking a very slow approach in this one. You know, they ran into a stack in the pistol round. They're not looking to do that again here in the second.
Yeah, and in fact, they're definitely not. NIP, they've shuffled over. They've moved 3 on B, and now OG are going to be walking into the right place at the right time. Mantu setting up that mid flash. It's a passive play from Rez. He's going to get mollied off. Still standing on the bench, looking for the boiler shot, but nothing presenting itself. OG just poking and prodding for the time being, not looking to commit. Maybe hoping that NIP will rotate back towards that A bomb site. We're already seeing Alexi double back to check out what lurks in the banana. NIP playing passive enough that they're not going to be giving away information to OG. And so we've got to wait for OG to clear that one out, go back towards A, set up this execute. They've got plenty of utility to do so. Hampus is floating long side to try and assist, but we've got another little apps drop coming in from a man in the smoke.
Oh, Hampus down, over towards long. First to fall here for NIP, and now they're creeping up through short side. Oh, Rez getting himself a double, but that's going to be it for him as this A site has crumbled once again. And with 8 seconds left, that bomb goes down. OG, they're looking good here in the 3-on-2.
Oh, duck right before the primary AWP, now turned primary scout as well. Nork doesn't seem like he'll be able to find anything. No reason for OG to re-peek into that fight. They're setting up all of their utility, keeping NIP as far back as they can, but Plopsky is curious, and he's going to go for a little look-see. He's got a molly. You could throw that into the back of the pit. Right now, OG are trapped inside of the site, and they might go down with the explosion, but Nork missing the timing on the cross-out, and smart play from OG, jumping up into the apartments, completely avoiding the short line of sight from the scout. That molly is good, and it will push Valde out, but I don't know if he's going to die. It's planted in the site, and Valde will just live to fight another day.
Just about though, Rez. This is a nice attempt at holding onto the site. Ultimately falls a little short. I thought, 2 rounds into Cologne, surely we're not going to get the best play already. And Rez, started to get us there, but not quite. It's just going to be an eco here for NIP, right? They did a bit of damage, nothing worth getting too excited about there. You got that scout on Nork still to play into this round. Plopsky still with his Deegan armor. And for OG, actually a short little tactical pause, figuring out how they want to approach this 3rd anti-eco round.
Yeah, they know they're not up against much, right? USPs, flat coming through, couple of saved weapons, but it's really not too difficult. And they've still got Alexi on the Mac 10. I love seeing Alexi in this team, man. He's always the one to take the hit. He'll run in first. You may have, some great entry players like Issa, for example, on this team, but Alexi will often just sacrifice his life and allow himself to get traded, running in with our Mac 10. This is a good round to go for the B play, knowing NIP will not have utility to stop you. And OG already setting their sights there. That scout trying to find tag damage down mid, but OG aren't offering all too much up. Taking their time at the top of B. And, that's been evident so far from this game, even in that previous round. Getting a bomb plant with less than 10 seconds remaining. It's an Inferno classic, obviously a risk. But with risk comes reward. And OG, they're looking for their reward towards B as they set up smokes.
Well, this should be nice and easy to sweep under the rug, or so you would hope, right? But with so many players rotating in through CT spawn, it could get a little bit dangerous here for NIP. Or for OG, rather. As they stack everyone in towards this A site. B site. Man, I'm just so rusty. It's been a while, it's been a moment, but Valde opening this one up, and there's that little boost thrown in at the back of the site. Alexa B has been able to spot it, and so it's going to struggle to accomplish much. Hampus, here's them now falling away from B, and that's going to prompt the rotation. The problem they're going to have is that Issa is going to cause a bit of a problem here. He's gone very, very aggressive. He's already secured the A bomb site, and now he can hear these players rotating back round. Not going to matter all too much, though, in the grand scheme of things. This should have been an OG round, and they're going to get us there by the looks.
Yeah, nice little rotate for OG, right? Not falling for the full stack. They know they are pretty obvious, pretty loud towards that B bomb site, and NIP just send all 5 players there. That on an eco, that's exactly the kind of play that you're typically going to go for. It doesn't really matter if you lose a round. You're expected to anyway, so why not take a risk? The scout, he's found 1 kill. Nork is looking for another. But again, OG is so good at locking down these tight angles and not playing for the fights when they don't need to. Now that bomb is ticking away, and they know it's under lock and key. So Issa with another LXP on the lurk, and no saving players here for NIP this time. Inferno, you're going to see a lot of saves, but OG, they do their best to deny them. And now comes in the first rifle round, Harry. Frankie talked about that AWP switch up for NIP. Nork taking it now over Twist as the primary. I imagine this is a good map to see that double AWP later on the CT side for NIP, but for the time being, it's just going to be Nork on that middle position.
Come on, Nork, let's see what you got up your sleeve with this AWP. I'm very excited to see him on it. He's taking it down here towards the top of middle, and there are going to be players coming his way through alt mid. He doesn't stick around very long. Holds that position early. Had he waited just a tiny bit longer, maybe could have reaped the reward for it. Instead, falling back, taking this more passive lie in towards the A site, keeping his eye on long while the rest of the gang hold down short on apartments. OG looking like they want to try and test this defense at the A-bomb site once again. Twist going to get flashed in, and oh, MVK, he's so blind. You hate to see it. Rez, though, will falter down towards short side. Nork smoked off the angle, and Twist falling down in the pit. Nork's AWP has been denied any positioning at this A side of the map thanks to that smoke. And OG getting the bomb down, being in this 4-on-3. This round is as good as done. NIP, they've got to save.
LXB does it again, man. He runs up short side. He absolutely tears Rez down with a MAC-10. And right as Nork is about to hit the shot on him crossing that short angle from long side, the moto smoke comes down. OG time it perfectly, and the AWP just gets denied vision. If he went for a random smoke shot, he might have hit it, but we will never know because it didn't happen. And OG, a bomb plant down. Look at these fly-throughs. Rush has been doing his work. Of course, our beautiful observer pressing all the numbers. 0 to 1 to 2 to 9. Really all of them, Harry. Talking to numbers, it's 4-0 for OG. They're starting this map off strong.
Yeah, no, this is brilliant for them, right? This is ideal, because like the way that you want to try and get Hampus feeling a little bit uncomfortable is to make him feel like out of the gate, you know, he's just out of his depth here. And that must be how it's kind of starting to feel right now. Like you're already getting kind of pushed and prodded even into that first buy round where you had everything you were really looking for. You know, you had the AWP on Nork, you had utility, you even had the opening kill. You were in a 5-on-4 out of the gate. Luckily enough, though, with 3 players saving, that reinvestment is still in here in round number 5. Alexa B challenging the top of Banana this time around. He's been a bit of a menace over towards A. Now he's looking to inflict his pain elsewhere, but Molotov'd out for the time being, and there's still this fight for Banana control raging on.
Hampus is going to flash a player back in aggressively. Plopsky, he's tucked to the sandbags, and OG are just moving up the Banana right now. I love the patience on this T side. Mantu even boosted up with the AWP. He's got one of his own. Nothing to be shown. That molly on sandbags is going to be a bit of a problem for Plopsky. He'll call for the flashbang. Smoke at his feet. There it goes. Plopsky going wide, and Mantu flashed off, will fall back passive. Plopsky does the same. And NIP, they'll concede the top of Banana, but at least they did fight for it. At least they gave it a go. OG with the bomb up there as well. And NIP, they don't actually have the info. They don't know how many players are in Banana, nor that the bomb is there as well. So they've just got to still run this standard setup for the time being as OG make noise in the apartments and in middle to fake things out. It is looking like a full B execute though, and only one Molotov to stop it. Luckily, it's on Hampus.
Yeah, and he's right where they're going to need him. The longer that is left to tick off this clock, the better that is for NIP. This Molotov could do so much, and you've already got Rez rotating in. He's got a CT flash as well. He can open this up for these players in the site to do the damage on the back of that flashbang. And here comes the push. The Molotov is going to split it in two. The bomb dropped. 20 seconds, flash through the smoke for Rez, but actually he's gone down. This could be a bit of a disaster. It's all on Plopsky inside of the B site, and while he does get one, it's not going to be enough. The bomb can go down with seconds to spare for OG, and somehow, some way, they are into this 2-on-2.
Man, they've been watching Na'Vi 2016 demos because this is as close as it comes in some of these rounds with the bomb plants. Low HP on both these players, and IP in for the retake. They've got the kit on Twist, both coming from the coffins. Missed shot, Mantu gets caught by the jiggle. Issa goes out wide with a spray. The wallbang coming through the wood, and Nog on the AWP needs to pick up the kit and move pronto. Issa won't let him and shuts him down with a 3K. 5-0 for OG. They are just not stopping.
This is scary. This is like a really competitive looking OG. And look at that, man. NIP. Oh, this is above their spawn. That's kind of cute. I like that. But maybe they're not the faces we should be focusing on right now, because this is not the NIP star that we were hoping for moving into this matchup. OG really off to a blistering start, and once again, they just wrecked the economy of NIP, right? There was no saves, there was no saving graces at the end of that round. It is just down to pistols here and now.
Yeah, that even comes off the back of NIP reading the previous round really well. Hampus obviously makes the call. They have 3 towards B. The molly does come in a bit late, and even though Alexibi gets past and gets taken down, putting NIP in a 5-on-3 initially, they actually overplay their hand. They flash back in, they play aggressively, and OG is just waiting behind the Molotov, trading it back into a 3-on-3 and planting the bomb. So, yeah, for a second, that was all NIPs, and OG turned the tide quite quick. B's almost empty. Hampus looks like he might even be rotating here. 1 smoke left on him. OG going to throw in their utility. That will force out all of it towards this B bomb site. And even though that's not where the bomb is ending up currently, we know how fast those Inferno T-side rotations can come through.
And this is another round where NIP, they've got the right read, right? They have stacked over towards this A side of the map, and they have got pressure coming their way, but is that going to be enough to win them the round? The flash is good, and MBK narrowly alive, not for long, but all the trades come through for OG. Plopsky now, the lone gunman at the A site. The MP9 shreds them down, and now it's Rez with the Deagle. We saw him at this A site in that second round, secure himself a double kill. Can he do it again? This time it would mean the world to NIP. He's creeping in through the library. Smoke is down at Moto, and that's a little bit heartbreaking if you're Rez. There's a very wide gap in that, though, so he's got a little angle to go peeking through. This is horrible, though. Like, Alexibi and Issa, they don't have to peek. They don't have to pressure anything. They can just wait for Alexibi to get the contact, and that's when Issa swings to try and shut this down, and he's never even needed. It's Alexibi with 4, and OG, they take a 6th round.
Yeah, the fragging in-game leader, you love to see it. 4 from Alexibi, and you could see how patient Rez was, but I get that. I guess that's somewhat off the back of how aggressive OG have been in these post plants. Issa peeking at the back of the B bomb site and that one-on-one instantly being an example. Plopsky, he has a great position. He almost gets caught by Alexi coming around the long side, but swings out at the perfect time to find 2 kills. Still not enough to save NIP though, but maybe the double AWP is. Hampus is taking it alongside North.
That's interesting, man. And I was looking, I was like, okay, maybe that's off of spawns, but no, it wasn't. Hampus had the worst B spawn out of anyone. So that's an interesting talking point, right? I always imagined that if we were going to see another AWP get picked up, it would be used by Twist. Obviously, he is like playing over towards short and apps, like kind of switching around between the two wherever he's needed. You see Norks up there now. So, I guess you just didn't want to load a second AWP into that A-bomb site.
Yeah.
Let's see what Hampus can do with his over towards top banana. Plopsky ready and waiting with the flash for him. So they're going to wait for this contact. Flash comes in, and it gives Hampus that freedom to go for a re-peek if he thinks the situation calls for it.
OG have just been so methodical. Look at that Molotov. It's going to deny anything. He picks a perfect angle, though, and Mantu walks right into it. That's another opening kill for NIP that doesn't get traded. But Hampus, he might want to go in for a little bit more. Creeping back round the corner, Alexibi coming to join Valdi, and you see those 2 A players retreating as well. It will be a B execute, but Hampus may not be where they expect.
Oh, and the re-smoke in. I love this from NIP. They're retaking banana late in the round. This is like the ultimate middle finger to OG. They back up now as the 30-second mark hits. They look to try and just hold passively back within this site because there's no point throwing away this advantage. Molotov on Hampus, still a threat, still a danger. Plopsky holding inside of the site, and they've got to go through this smoke on the OG side. The flash is looking to come through. Plopsky's fallen back. Smoke actually going to land at his feet. But yeah, this push, it's got to happen now or else it doesn't happen at all. And, well, they're going in, but I don't even think there's time. That's it, man. This is, there they try. But Hampus, he's locked it in. He gets it done. NIP, they get the first round, and Issa even falls after time. So, it's the little victories that matter for NIP.
Yeah, and a big talking point is the fact that, like you said, they were retaking banana, right? That actually stalled out so much more time for OG. And then Hampus even saves his Molotov and throws it in late. That kept OG trapped in banana at, you know, the 10-second point. They do drop a smoke on the site. LXB tries to plant, but his leg's exposed, and the AWP takes him down. Without that, maybe there's a chance for OG, but finally NIP break the curse. They get one on the board. That's what we wanted. A competitive series here to open up Cologne. AWP solo now, back on Nork. He is in the apartments. We saw him here in the previous round, although OG didn't. And so nothing to be expected here. Double setup, push deep, but that gives mid-control over to OG. No one to stop them. LXB turns, tries to pre-aim, Twist gets aggressive. Nork comes back in with a missed shot, MBK. Oh, did it through the wall! And the bomb's been dropped to the feet of NIP, but trades are in, and Nork is styling in the apartments.
He's got another! Nork has just lit this server up. He was basically not even in it, and now suddenly he's arrived with two. Come on, oh, he misses it onto Issa. And Issa's still alive, still a danger, still a threat, but there's the wrap from Plopsky. AWP retrieved. And NIP, second round, Hugo. They're starting to cobble their way back into this game. They get themselves two. It's been a while since I've seen Pro CS, as you could tell by the little screamy scream just then. Woo!
Look at this. I mean,
it's awesome. And then the turnaround, like, no scope, don't even need it. Oh, Valde, get out the server. Go wait in the lobby. It's 2-6 now for NIP. Still a long ways to go to get back into the swing of things. But OG, you know, they're not just gonna roll over and let NIP get back into this game.
Yeah, that's impressive that NIP turn it around. It is all those AWP kills because OG had mid for free. There was no one there to contest them. So, yeah, very, very well played. Alexa on the Mac 10. Will we see a faster approach? Oh, he doesn't have a smoke for the molly. He had to escape, or it might have spread to his position. And Plopsky, he will let no one get out of that position. So a man advantage back in the favor of NIP. Alexa has to lead from the back seat, and Hampus has found a second. That AWP being shown has sent OG right back. Harry, it's again happening. Hampus on this second AWP. Of course, as you said, coming down to positions, coming down to the fact that they don't want Twist and Nork both AWPing on A, and Valde gets caught as well. These AWPs are the solution for NIP right now, and OG, well, for them, they are problem after problem.
I'm just waiting for the news article. Yeah, we've actually moved Nork off of the AWP, and Hampus now is going to be donning it. Here he is. He's been doing great over towards the B bomb site. Twist is even aggressing down through mid. This is like a little degree of freedom he never would have had with the big green gun. He's going around on this wrap. Nork's holding on to the re-peak. And, well, missed shot the first time around. Not necessarily the end of the world, though. It's drawn in the attention, or so you might think. Issa is ready for a man in T-spawn. Why is he ready for a man in T-spawn?
Your guess is as good as mine, but OG, they're guessing this A site's free. It's not going to be split 2-2 right now, and with 20 seconds, NIP just have to hunker down and wait for this commitment. That's if it's coming, because OG are walking, so this might even be considering a save right now, as they realize that time is not on their favor. So 2 guns held into the next round, but not a lot left. And NIP keep 2 AWPs. They have struggled to do so in the past. But now the money's going to be starting to build for this CT side. Leading in opening kills as well, 5-4 in favor of the Swedes.
That's quite telling, though, of how good this early trade work was for OG, right? Like, because in a lot of these rounds, there were, like, creative means for NIP to find themselves an opener. And early on, OG just seemingly had all the answers, right? They're like a little wolf pack. They're all sticking together. Wherever there's one, you're going to find, like, 4 more, and now they're all really angry. So for NIP, they've done well to kind of sort this out and reassert a bit of dominance in the server. It felt like OG were just walking all over them in these first few rounds. And now there's, like, that grim reminder that, okay, right, you can't just push us around, you can't just bully us. They've got the money together, they've got the AWPs in play, and this is where we're seeing what we wanted to see from NIP.
Well, let's see if it continues. Tac pause for OG. They come up with a plan for this round, and they will be saving a bit of money on the players who went down in the previous as well. So let's be on a Tech 9. Bomb as well. He's going to throw a nade up towards B. The rest of OG moving up through the second middle. We've got that AWP on Nork, back on the short side. OG are going to be silently boosting up off the head of MBK so they don't make any noise getting up into the apartments. Apart from Mantu making noise, falling off of the apartments. But
not even a bit that he needed to as well. Like, Mantu, they're trying to be all stealthy. They're trying to be all sneaky. And there's always one. Even at the pro level, there's always that one guy creeping now in towards the balcony. and looking to get into the A site. If they go for an apps drop here and now, this is the perfect round to do it. You've got a double long stack from NIP, but now they fall back, and that little timing, that little window, like just by chance that you had to get into this A site that much easier, it's now gone. And a re-smoke comes in. That's a little bit heartbreaking. OG were about to pull the trigger on that A play, and this is actually where like that decision to throw that long smoke has actually punished OG's original intention in this round. They throw it, and then when they're looking to split apps, well, of course NIP have got more players back in the site, because now with long smoke, you're anticipating that OG could be wrapping short. They could be going for an apps play. And so now they slow it down a bit. They take this top mid control, 30 seconds, they've got to go, and they're going to start to creep on in towards A.
One flash on Alexi, goes right in, but no one's blind, no one checks res either. The spray down in the back of the site. Nork coming in with one on the AWP. Valde looking to trade, but Nork is lighting up the server, and he's going to shut down the round as well. That primary AWP finding 3, and NIP finding 4. Great hold, and res not getting checked. That's a bit of a problem for OG. Of course, a low economy round, keep that in mind, right? But they would have loved a bomb plant just to max out their cash. Without it, you can see the players who saved in the previous are going to struggle. Mantu is on a deagle. Alexi B back on the Mac 10, famed as it were. OG still holding the lead, but NIP are catching up.
Not going to hold for a peak that isn't going to arrive just yet. Now turns his attention in towards alt mid. Meanwhile, bit of banana control attempted from OG. They throw in the utility and then they just leave. They just go. And they're hoping that this is going to be enough to keep these two NIP players aggressive over at the top of banana and just slow down these rotations. Nade finds good damage onto Valde, but it's not going to deter OG from going for this A bomb site. Twist holding this little narrow pixel angle into the apartments. Oh, it's a little bit messy, it's a little bit awkward, and Alexa B gets one with that Mac 10. Oh, now from the apartments, it all falls onto Nork. He smites down the first, AWP in hand. If there ever was a time, it's now, Nork. And he does go down after 2. Issa with the kill, retrieves the AWP for Mantu. And now Hampus here, missed shot, and that there might be the deciding factor in this round. If he gets that, it's a 2-on-2 in the retake. Him and Plopsky, they can go for it, but now 1v3 for Plopsky. This is a very tall order, and a lot of it hinges on getting that kill. Now that he's got it, maybe they give this a go.
Alexi B is such a mad lad. Running through the Molotov, he is crazy. And it's going to be the opening kill that locks OG in the round. Mantu with a closer. And that's a great execute as well, right? One player up long, not the full commitment, but getting that kill pulls away that library player to assist on the A site. And even though Nork gets a couple with the AWP, there's only so many you can get before OG are going to run you down. Up to 7 on this T side. Twist also, we talk about opening kills, Harriet, usually coming from those AWPs. Twist, who has not picked up an AWP in this map so far, is 3-0 in opening kills. He's top of the server. So, you know, we're still seeing that success coming from him from the short side. But OG, they're speeding things up. A fast-paced round, not what NIP expected. And they are calling for reinforcements. Only one man on this B bomb site. He's going to have to wrap back round. Rotates are taking their sweet time, but so are OG, throwing in the Molotov and doubling back towards middle. Luckily enough, NIP haven't shifted all too much.
Yeah, this is where, you know, having Hampus over towards B, he's able to very accurately describe what he's seeing to the rest of his team, and then Threat can kind of like piece together all this information and help justify these decisions. So early on, they didn't go for that rotate. Hampus is probably saying, right, like they get the kill, but there's nothing else happening over here towards B. So they stick around over at A, and that looked like it was going to be the right decision, but now like the seemingly perfect read on the back of not seeing nor hearing anything over towards this A bomb site, they stack over towards B, and they've got 3 here waiting in the wings for old mate OG to come a knocking.
It's almost like a double fake, right? Like, we got the entry kill, but we didn't commit, so we're surely going A. But yeah, NIP, like you said, the perfect read. And now an execute from OG into this stack. Smoke on the molly. Hampus fighting from the pillar. They're going to run in. He's got one. Second one as well. No flashes to be found, and no kills for OG. Only one off Mantu's AWP. Perez boosted with a triple setup will shut down the last. And that's a really great hold for NIP. They don't fall for the old fakeroo. And OG walk right into the stack. money's been a bit of a problem as well for OG, right? Somewhat coming off the fact that, you know, they struggle to get bomb plants on rounds they lose. I feel like in pretty much every post, like NIP have had no defuses in this game. Every time OG get a plant, they win the round. So yeah, when you know, that's a good thing obviously, but it's also a bad thing in the sense that you're not getting that extra bonus money on like an eco round perhaps. Inferno is quite a difficult map to, you know, get into the bomb sites without a lot of utility. And so yeah, for OG, now that they lose another round, their money is kind of kaput. It's also split. We've got Mantle on an AWP. We've got MBK and Issa with 2K per. So, yeah, not the best situation. OG are going to just fully buy to try and level out their cash together in round number 13. NIP continuing with this double AWP setup. And boy, has it been successful.
Yeah, in that round prior, we saw Mantu with the AWP, but that was because he retrieved it off of Alexa B's body. This is the first round yet over on the T side where he has purchased this AWP out of spawn with intent. So let's see what he's able to do with it. Is that going to be a bit of a difference maker here for OG? They spot Valde crossing. And at this point, NIP, they've got a lot of information. They've got a lot of stake in this round. They've cleared out the bottom of Banana. They know it's likely to be the A play. And so for OG, they're walking into charted waters here for NIP. NIP know what's going on. They're ready, they're waiting, and it's a very awkward round for OG. That Molotov finds some good damage as well, just to add insult to injury. It's still looking like an A commitment, but at this point in time, like you were walking into the lion's den.
And look at the Banana push as well. NIP have pushed all the way down. They know this one's coming. They know that OG are committing, and the AWP's been dropped. There is a trade. Well played from Valde, but Alexa B needs to start running down this site player. Rez is gone. Valde helping out with that one. Nork does find another crucial kill, but finally a bomb plant for OG. Will they keep up the streak of successful post plants? Alexa B's got a clutch if so, and it's just not going to happen. 3 from Nork. And I've been loving these apartment setups from NIP, man. They know OG's tendencies.
Yeah.
Often in Alexa B's teams, back in Ents, and even here, OG, sorry, these rosters have often just gone for the apps drops a lot of times. And so NIP in multiple rounds have gone for double app setups. And, you know, 2 out of the 3 times they've done it, it's paid off.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that kind of ties into earlier on when you highlighted Twist as having these opening kills for NIP. Well, the reason for that is that he is this apps player in question. And so often, you know, we're seeing him get flashed in just to put a stop to these peaks. That round there, you're bang on. It was this really nice double setup in the apartments. And OG, you know, this is... really, this is where I would love for them to look real good, is like when you're getting dealt all these problems, this is where you draw upon the experience of all these players who have IGL'd at some point in time. Like, this is where you can look down the line. You can say, Valde, you got any ideas? You know, MBK, you got anything? Like, there's so many players you can have chip in. And that can be a blessing and a curse, but in moments like this, you really need it to feel like a blessing. Hampus holding on to Banana. Smoke goes down and they go running through it. It's a very, very fast pace here. Much faster than what we've seen from OG at this B bomb site. But is that going to be good enough? Bomb dropped in CT. Plopsky, missed spray. But Hampus is still putting up numbers down towards CT. And with the bomb drop so deep, this round should be impossible for OG.
Yeah, Nork's waiting out the smoke so he can throw in a Molotov, meaning Issa won't be able to move out safely. He will, however, tuck in the corner. OG with nothing but the chance to wait, to hesitate, to sit back and relax and hope NIP overplay their hand, but that's not the case. Rez with 1, Issa swings out, but Twist is going to get the trade after he takes down Nork. And again, these AWPs continue to show up for NIP. You know, I feel like we're giving a lot of praise to NIP, and that's because of how one-sided the second half of this first half has been. Don't forget, though, OG, this is an excellent T-side. They did go 6-0 up to begin, but 7 rounds, even if this ends with 7 on a T-side of Inferno, I think OG are going to be very happy with that one. Let's see if they can change it. Let's see if they can push one over the edge at the end of the half. Full money back up, Mantu on the AWP, and NIP with a triple B set up early to throw down utility.
Once again, apartments is going to be taken, but as we've seen for NIP, whenever Banana isn't getting pressured, they are taking it. They are stripping that away from OG. And with Hampus now set up on the half wall, that's going to free up the rotation from Plopsky. He moves back over towards A. Hampus can get the information, maybe even get a kill, just strip one from the tally of OG, and then fall back into this B site. Twist gets flashed in for an apartments peak once again. And MBK, he's been caught off guard by that a few times, so he slowed it right down. And he hears the flash. He knows that Twist is still up on the balcony, so that's a bit of information given over due to the tendencies that OG have picked up from the NIP squad. 2 players over here towards long, and a library smoke down. They might try and wrap in towards CT, but instead they just jump on by and now look to split this site. But that's where Nork could make all the difference. He's put up a double, looking for even more, and he's ready and waiting, trying to catch a timing, but doesn't quite find it. It's a 3-on-3 to round out this first half of play, but MBK has stripped one away from the NIP boys.
Yeah, we keep seeing this gap in the Moto smoke, but MBK does have his eyes on it, and a re-smoke comes through. It doesn't matter, Mantu uses it to his advantage, and OG will close out the first half in favor. Great T-side for this map, and OG looking good. ESL 1 Cologne continues in just a moment.
Crave the taste. It's steady adrenaline running through my gate. It gets me high, high, high. Got no time to waste. Ain't got time for small talk. I tell you the truth. For small talk, I tell you the truth. I'm fast for you. I'ma tell you the truth. Not in it to lose, just fast for you. Fast for you. I tell you the truth. I'm fast for you. I'ma tell you the truth. Not in it to lose. Just faster than you. Just faster than you.
We've been waiting so damn patiently for ESL 1 Cologne, and here we are, the first best of 3, the first day, and I couldn't be more excited. NIP versus OG, they've already given us a close matchup. We are split as close as we can possibly be at the end of that first half of play. It's 8-7 right now in the server, and this one feels like it could go anywhere. I wouldn't want to have it any other way. Hugo, Oh, we had a hell of a first half. Second half about to begin, and I want to see more from OG. I want to get the OG that we had for the first 6 rounds of play back in the server.
Yeah, they did look really good on that T side, though, coming up with answers despite this strong double ult presence of NIP. OG still win it out on the T side. On a map like Inferno, that is easier said than done. So, NIP, time to see the new boy on the block, time to see the in-game leader of Hampus lead these Swedes to victory. Or maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. Utility coming through for this T side. We got double smoke, molly, flash, and Mantu's got the Julies. Maybe been watching Keto over towards the banana position, recently finding an ace there. Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for the Julies back in play. Alexi B's got the flashbangs back on Coffin to set Mantu up. But will NIP try for with the banana? Right now, they look to be.
I love this from Mantu. As you say, he saw Keto do it, and now he wants his time in the spotlight. Come on, let's go. Double Retters, let's have it, Mantu. I'm hyping this up because you have to deliver, man. You have to. Like, all the pressure's on now, not just because we're watching you, but because I'm talking about it. Let's see. The Dooley's ready and waiting, but it's Valda actually doing the damage. Flash goes in, and Mantu, oh no, it's a disaster. He only gets one, and Hampus follows up with a double. Dearie me, the Dual Berettas betray OG. They still sit with the advantage, but Nork has opened up A, and this could cause some real problems. Rotations coming in. Issa, first man round, but they haven't pulled Alexa B away from this B bomb site. In spite of losing A, the bomb is now trailing in towards B, and Hampus has just caught the timing. He knows he has, and with Nork finding another, this is an intricate, overly complicated pistol round. They get the bomb planted, and Alexa B isn't going to realize until it's too late. Now he hears the smoke go down at B, but the rotation from Nork has already come in. And this is a sad way for this pistol round to end up in such dire straits for OG. Alexa B falls, and it's NIP to get it.
I love that so much. Alexa B, you know, he was even considering that, Harry. Before his teammate dies on long, he's still hanging around on the boost box on B. He has no intention to rotate, and then after he loses his last man at A, well, you've got to pull the trigger there and run on round. Early, heavy banana setup for OG finds them, you know, favorable trades initially, but it's not getting that crucial kill on A that draws OG away from the real trap on the B-bomb site. Great pistol. I love that for NIP. Despite, you know, losing early players, they still come out on top. And OG are going to force in the second, as NIP did back in the first half. We've got Deagles here. SMG for Valde. Bit of utility. The smokes to play delay. And NIP, they've been given banana for free here. But it is by design. 3 on B, stacked up. OG are hoping they come their way.
Ow. Poor Mantu. It's the El Clasico smoke delay play. You want to try and hold on to these smokes for as long as you physically can. Like, you really want to wait till you know you're using it at the right time. You know, the longer they're in the server, the more present they are, the more valuable they become. And losing Mantu over towards B, that might force a smoke out relatively soon over here at this side of the map. It's going to be Alexa B dropping his. Now, inside of A, that's where we want to be shifting our attention to, because NIP have gotten out in towards top mid. MBK is the man with the smoke here. However, usually you'd have that going in over towards the top of middle. He's going to struggle to get as much utility out of this as he would like, so he's going to drop it into the apartments instead. NIP, they've got this top mid control. Issa has held on to this nade for a hot minute, and he's going to throw that in towards short. Plopsky, he's injured by it, and MBK looking to get stuck in, wrapping around. Hampus has already darted through the smoke, and he's lost Issa down in the pit, but it's still a 3-on-3. There's still a chance for OG. Even though it's not that great, they certainly are looking to give this one a go.
That's a great smoke on long. What it does is it actually forces MBK round from library to arch, and then Hampus slips through, right through that smoke. And MBK, he might get 1 kill and put things in a 3-on-3, but they are still trapped outside of this site. Moving up through the short side are the 2 SMGs. Twist mowing down some damage. Valde on 2, and he's all that remains here on the cart side. Norg trying to hunt him down. Hampus will do so instead up top, and everyone gets a kill in the post plant. NIP find that round victory. Yeah, I like that little fake play up on long, throwing the smoke to a hint that you're going towards archway, but then just diving through it, knowing library is likely clear. NIP take the lead right back. Worth noting that, you know, despite the scoreline, the opening kills are in favor of NIP 11-6. That is quite dominant. And, you know, if anything, rather, gives credit to OG for getting these trades, for getting back in man disadvantage rounds. But this probably won't be one of them. Full USPs, a nade, and a flash. They're going to hope to fight down Banana, but NIP, I doubt are going to be committing to any stacks without at least getting information on A. And look at Plopsky, man. He's already run the gauntlet. He's already sprinted through to the CT spawn. Uh-oh.
Oh no, there's, oh dear, oh no, hang on, it's flipped around, they flipped the script. No, they haven't. It's going to be 3 for Plopsky, and now he gets the info that everyone else is still here at B. The bomb's going back safely, but Rez is like, well, I got a USP of my own, and I want to get some kills, and so he will. He takes down MBK, and they know that Valdez here as well. Like, NIP aren't being discreet in this. They just want to hunt the frags. They're not bothered about getting that bomb down and waiting a whole minute and then winning the round. No, they want it over. They want it done, and it's 10 on the board for NIP.
Yeah, confident stuff, just hunting down those final players. I like it. Don't even give them room to rotate out or to grab the SMG left in spawn. Not much of a victory anyway, but especially not when it's a loss. 10-8, and the AWP is out for Mantu. OG, their first full rifle round here on the CT side. They've got everything they need and more. Utility, couple of kits as well. They've got a 4-man B stack towards this site, rather. It's very important that Mantu doesn't die early. If he does, NIP can elevate the pace and take this A site while there's no defense there. But OG, they throw the grenades down Banana, they send those double rotates right back, and NIP were none the wiser. They were never to know. So all back to standard round here. NIP are setting up outside of A. They throw grenades up top Banana, but OG are not budging. And with a deep smoke as well, that could even free up another rotation. We could even see a 4th player go back towards A once they've cleared Banana. And that's exactly what's gone down. They're going to push it aggressively, allowing for the quick mid flank when this A execute comes through. And that looks like an inevitability at this point.
Mantu was a little quiet in that first half, but T-side AWPing is always a challenge, right? And now he's donning it on this CT side. This is where we want to see Mantu come alive. He's holding on over here towards short. He's playing back within the bomb site, and he has Issa to help him out from down in pit. This is quite the crossfire for OG. Issa naded out of the round, but MBK putting up a whole handful of kills inside of the A bomb site. It's down to this 2-on-2 on the back of it, but still OG having to rotate in for the retake. Valde coming in through long. Alexa B with the mid-wrap. Rez and Nork, they've got this site pit crossfire set up and a smoke through the Moto smoke. Valde's not going to aggress through it, and they're hoping that this baits Rez for the peak. It works perfectly. That was by design, and now it falls to Nork. He's already dinked, but there's the first. Back up, Valde's going to nail the shot, and OG, they will get this 9th. They keep it competitive. They keep this one neck and neck. NIP going to be kicking themselves that they fall for that little trick over towards Moto.
Yeah, I love that from Valde, right? He doesn't even commit. He knows he has a timing where he can actually get through that Moto smoke and fight, but he'd rather just fake him out and draw NIP towards the wrong position, only to regroup with his teammate. And it felt like Nork could have won that clutch. He gets an immediate headshot. Valde does a great job of jumping above, and he is not in a position that Nork expects. Just a little bit of his body being exposed is all they needed with him having been dinked earlier on in the round. Worth noting, NIP double-naded pit once Issa got that opening kill. So, you know, not falling for any trickery from OG. But it will still be the round win for this CT side. Mantu back on the AWP. Back up on the long side as well. 3 towards B initially. Issa's going to rotate towards A after using his utility. And NIP, it's looking like the same as the previous. More pressure up on that A bomb site, taking the apartment's control away from OG. And Plopsky just making sure that no one aggresses down the Banana and flanks them.
Yeah, Banana with all the utility turned into like this weird no man's land where like there's so much focus on it, but no one actually has it. And that continues here. OG fell back into a passive hold, so they don't have this info that no one's here. And so as a result, these rotations from B are going to take a lot longer than they did in the round prior. We're going to have to wait and see if that's something that maybe comes back to hurt OG if NIP commit to the A side take. Issa up on the balcony. MBK tries to be sneaky with the flash, but he can't. And now this A site falls in the blink of an eye. NIP, this is an 11th round knocking on the door, and they are going to welcome it in.
That was sick as well. The Motor smoke had a tiny little gap. Mantu was peering through to the pit. He sees across. He can't hit the shot in time. He only has a millisecond to react, and then he just gets domed through the smoke. That is so unfortunate. You could see NIP how dedicated they were to clearing out that pit position after Issa found a kill from it last round. They nade it, they molly it, they flash it. No one's there. They clear that out, and they're able to take down Issa on the balcony after only one. So methodical take from NIP, and with 4 alive as well, that's going to feel good for building the money up on this T side. Taking that round lead by 2, and 2 guns saved for OG, but not really a saving grace. It's going to have to be an eco from them moving forward. They could force round these guns, but really, with everyone sitting around the 2K mark, Mantu even having a bit more for that AWP later on, it might be better to save.
Man, look at them though, like the way that they just seep into the site, and like honestly, if you looked away for a moment in that site take, you missed everything. Like it took a matter of seconds. That was so well executed from NIP, and I love that camera angle to kind of illustrate that, right? Like just the pan across the site, how one by one they were so ready for every one of those angles. They get it locked in, and at this point, NIP, man, they look like they have such a good read, such a good understanding as to what's going on and the tendencies that OG have. It's an attempt at top banana, something that we haven't seen much of from NIP just yet. The flashback in for Valdet, provided by Mantu, has given over a 4-on-4, but things are heating up here at Banana. Valdet is tucked in for the long game, and he just might get this information that these players aren't continuing with the push and that they have slowed right down. So that's going to be his cue to rotate back.
You can see Mantu goes and grabs that SMG, but smartly enough, Plopsky threw that AK of off Rez's body out the map. So if anyone does aggress down Banana later in the round, they're not going to be able to pick up this weapon. Especially important on a round like this, an eco, where OG only have 1 rifle to work with on Valder. He's going to double back towards B. It's the right call to make. Things have been silent up towards A, and BK's heard nothing in middle. And that's because NIP are quad stacked towards B. Their executes have looked good, Harry, right? Over on A, the Moto smoke, the app smoke, and the close sight smoke. What have they got to show us on B? Plenty of grenades to do it.
Valdet in with another, but he's really got to deliver here as the rest of his team fall around him. We are looking at Valdet as the lone hope, really, of OG. MBK can't win his fight, and so Valdet, 1v3, needs an ace if he wanted to pick this round up. And these are all things that shouldn't inspire confidence here. Valdet trying to just get out of danger. Ooh, almost gets that kill through the smoke. But regardless, he's not going for this round. You want to know what gives that away? Look at where he is. He's running, mate. Like, I can't make that one any more clear. It's a 12th on the board for NIP, and Valdet at least holding on to the M4 armor and kit behind it. The reinvestment going to be coming in for OG in this next round, but time starting to feel like it's running out for OG to right their wrongs. Like, you want to get them back on track sooner rather than later, especially with how this CT side economy feels right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, think back to the first half. OG did go 6-0 up on the T side to start. NIP, they finally got money. They found the answers. They brought out those double orbs. And then they ended up getting 7 at the end of the half. It was good stuff for NIP. Well, now this second half has started the same, but in favor of the T side again. NIP 5-1 in these early rounds. The question is, does the money getting built up, does the buy here for OG find any solution? Because it's now or never. They're not going for the double orb. They're staying with 1. This is pretty standard for OG. Not heavy on those AWPs. Mantu, when he is performing, can be an absolute banger of a player, but right now has 6 kills. Twist through the Molotov. Mantu finally finding something. The opening kill. He swings back in with assistance from his teammate, but he'll get the double before the trade comes through. It's 4 kills, all from orbs, and NIP, they're not slowing down. They want to commit towards A, but OG, look at them on the flank.
Yeah, look at Val there, right? He is on a mission right now. He could strip this whole round away based on how well he's able to do on this flank. And he's moving over towards the apartments. Issa's got to buy some time inside of the bomb site. And in comes Nork, already with 2 to his name, but that's him out of the game. Issa looking for even more now. Does get bested by Plopsky, but here comes that flank that we were talking about. Valder knows where one of them is. He hears Hampus down in the pit. He's playing the trigger discipline. Plopsky's allowed to get it planted, and they might wish that they didn't let that happen. As now, Plopsky versus Alexa B. He gets the info. He knows where he is. And now he tucks himself down. He's waiting for Alexa B to make the first move. I'm ticking away. Plopsky, oh, dodging shots, goes wide and tries to get the kill. Oh, he's onto the Glock. Not able to get it over the line. Alexa B wins that one out. Ammo comes back to punish. NIP, oh, I got worried there, and I think it's still fine. Yeah, it's still fine, but that would have been a horrible way to lose a round.
And
Alexa able to win the 1v1.
Yeah, I love the low ammo noise that was added a few years back, right? Alexa B uses that to his advantage. He hears that AK run dry, and he just jumps up on the site, knowing there's nothing for that player to do. Valde plays excellently, but he plays it so safe that it almost costs OG the round. He waits for the bomb to get planted. He had a chance to kill the dude with the bomb on the site, but he wanted to kill the guy in the pit while Plopsky was planting, but Plopsky then goes inside of A to plant, meaning Valde only actually gets one for that flank, but luckily it's enough for Alexa B to close, and look at this Valde. He's hungry for more. The flash is good. Down Banana. He gets one. There's a trade from Rez. Flashed out himself, but not going to stop him with taking a 4-on-4 again. MBK's even aggressing as well. They noticed second mid was somewhat clear, and he has taken deep position. Twist is watching for it, though, and the SMG is not going to be the gun you need at that range. Another A player down, and NIP can just keep holding, keep waiting, keep letting OG make mistakes. 4-on-3 as they group up towards the top of B, and the flash comes through. It's a double setup, both blinded, but it doesn't matter. They get the kill, and that's all the info NIP need. If they just run A, they know they've got a 3-on-1.
Mantu, now's the time, man. Now is the time. Like, really, down in the pit, he's got this AWP, and he's going to hold on to the A site. The push ready and waiting to come in from NIP, and they are not being slow nor discreet about it. Mantu Molotov'd out, and only good for one. Nork bests him in the head-to-head, and it's 13 on the board for NIP. I tell you what, like in the beginning of this, right, if you remember when that double AWP came out for Nork and Hampus, Hampus was actually leading the way in the beginning of that CT side. Well, Nork is now head and shoulders above anyone else on the rest of the squad. You can see why we were fans of this AWPing change that came on in, because he is such a force to be reckoned with in the server right now.
I also like how decisive Hampus is being, right? The second they get that immediate info that there's 2 on B, they immediately run towards that A site. Hampus as well, his long lurks have been so well timed, as in-game leaders are doing often this game. Alexa B, we constantly saw him diving through long smokes and Molotovs to the Mac 10 to get kills. Hampus has done that twice in this T side already. He just ran up long while his teammates committed short against Mantu and killed both rotators off of B. He knew he would beat them to that position and going through his own utility to get those kills. I love it. And NIP, the results are showing 13-10, OG with no money. They have one man on this B bomb site, and Valde, good luck, buddy. You're going to need it.
Oh. Well,
that's the round.
25 then. Well, look, this one should already be over, right? NIP, they're going to get the bomb planted, and OG, they don't even, they're not, they just want to leave. They just want to get out of this round. They're going to try and hold on to the armor, the pistols, whatever they've got. It's 14 on the board for NIP. This is OG's map pick. We were hoping to see a little bit more from them, but NIP, since getting onto this T side, they have just not stopped. They've looked so damn good. And outside of the few rounds that OG have been able to cobble together, there really hasn't been much to go off of. And it can feel horrible, like right at the end, right when it's crunch time, it feels like they've just run out of ideas, they've run out of steam, and NIP are looking so damn confident.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect read from NIP, right? Even in the low economy rounds where OG try and play aggressive, where MBK pushes the apartments, there's Twist waiting and damn T-apps for it. Like, there's no route back in for OG, and this is how Inferno can often be playing as a CT side. Like, if you don't, win Banana and apartments, you can often just get, faked onto and X-sected the last 20 seconds. It's a mind game, this map, at the best of times, 14-10. And where is OG's mind at? We have to find out. This is going to be their last chance saloon. This is their last buy before map point on their pick. Not where they want to be. Nork back on the AWP, 24-9. Storming start to this series. Mantu, he's had a couple of kills when we need him to, but unfortunately it's just not been enough to lock in OG rounds. He got that double on the one round that Alexa B wins the one-on-one on, but in the previous, or 2 rounds ago, rather, the last rifle round, only gets 1 from the pit. A difficult position being the lone anchor on A. He's not had, easy chances, to say the least. And OG have not felt the need to play aggressive on this CT side with how patient NIP have been in the opening sections of rounds. This is no different.
Yeah, this is looking like an A fake moving into a B play. You've got Rez And Hampus throwing in this utility over towards the A site and now looking to see what they can get away with while the rest of NIP sneak up the banana. Mantu gonna shut down Rez at the first hurdle. And now the B play, the true intention in this round, throw it in from NIP. They still have Hampus coming in late at the A bomb site. That's something to bear in mind. However, it does kind of rely on these B players at least surviving the journey, and that feels out of the question right now. Hampus is going to get shut down by Issa, and this leaves Nork 1v5. He's out of this one. He just wants to stay alive at this point in time. And OG, with 5 players still up, like, it is important that they solidify their money, but they're going to go a little bit aggressive, right? I imagine it's going to be pretty tapered. Like, you don't want to lose 2 players to a saving Nork, because this is how you begin your comeback. Like, you strengthen your money, you build up a bit of resistance, so you've got like a round of kind of economic buffer in the way. And so this is good, at least for OG, if they did want to try and get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, the danger there was having your in-game leader on the lurk in apartments, right? Once Mantu gets that opening kill, NIP firstly are really hoping for a pick on A that's going to force OG to rotate through that banana position where they were holding, but that's not the case. So Mantu gets the opening kill, well played from him, and then NIP just kind of stop a banana. They had to immediately go, right? There were only 2 players there. There's no way OG are rotating, considering they only saw 1 player and they killed him immediately. So yeah, NIP, they hesitate for 2 or 3 seconds, and Alexi B throws in a perfect smoke to cut them off a banana. And NIP, yeah, that's the round done at that point. Oh, a bit of aggression on the CT side. We've been waiting for it. Mantu with a deep molly down mid holds ult, but NIP, they're not rushing, they're not running, and they're waiting at the bottom of banana. Luckily, Rez has actually gotten himself a pretty good position up top, but OG are not fighting for it, and so this will have minimal consequence for the time being. Flash back in, they're going to retake it. Good flash, Alexi B gets some damage, but he also gets spammed on the retreat. And with a smoke down, OG will just hold off in a 5-on-5.
Yeah, OG looking to make a bit of a gamble here. They rotate Mantu round very preemptively into this B site. And this could be the right decision. Like, there's still so much time left. If NIP do like start to get the heebie-jeebies and decide like, yeah, no, B actually maybe not, but it doesn't look like they're deterred. It looks like they're still keen. Mantu smokes down, but he doesn't care. He secured a double and he sent them back from B. Mantu another one. Surely not. Oh, he's fallen back into the site now, and they're still looking to pressure him. Mantu in with 3. We've been waiting all game for him to come alive, and this could be his round. Mantu another, and it's the ace for Mantu. 12 on the board for OG. And what that man do as he put up a 12th round for this squad.
Oh, you love to see it. Cool, calm, and collected, man. And yeah, we've been waiting for that. This is such an explosive player, and for him to have like 6 kills at the end of the first half didn't feel like it was doing his ability justice. Even the fact that he gets 3 here, you know he wants to stick around, but he smartly makes a decision to back up. He knows that NIP have to commit at this point and sets up at the back of the site for an ace. What a round. And with Mantu coming alive off the back of this AWP, Harry, that spices things up.
It
thrown
does.
some paprika in the mix. And NIP, they're not out of the woods just yet.
Paprika, not really the spiciest of spices. You've gone for a mild one there, Hugo. You played it safe.
We're heating up. Give us time.
We're waiting for the full-on, you know, like ghost chili pepper or something like that. Oh, we can only hope. But Mantu, yeah, I mean, that there should be a confidence-boosting round if you've ever seen one, right? He gets his own happy-esque play over at the top of banana. What more could he do? NIP, for the first time in a long, long while on this T side, finally looking vulnerable in terms of the money. And the timing for that just couldn't be better for OG. If they do want to make a comeback happen here on their map pick, this is exactly what they needed. They needed Mantu to come alive. Well, we can check that one off of our list. They needed to build up a little bit of money. Cool, check that one off as well. And then they wanted to break NIP's economy. Well, look at the buy. They've done it. So this could be the start of something special for OG. Run.
How is he alive?
Alexi B, man, he just dodges bullets. He's like a fly. He sees everything at like half the speed or whatever. I know, they see it way slower than that. I don't know flies that well, Hugo.
I feel like if you see Alexi B with an SMG in his hand, he is rapidly hitting that spacebar key no matter what's happening. He loves being mobile. He loves being in the air, Harry. So I feel like the fly analogy, it's pretty apt. Valde is pushed close. There's no molly to clear this. And with the AK, one-shot headshot, he is in the spot to do some damage, but he can't have any support. Alexibi can throw a flash, but he can't fight with such low health. Rez checks it, doesn't matter. Now the flash comes through. Valde can go in for more, and he can just mow them down. Maybe another ace, but it gets denied at the final hurdle. Doesn't matter. It's still looking like an OG round. Hampus leading by example now in a 1-on-4.
Yeah, it's a pretty tall order. And is he going to be ready for Alexibi? He's certainly not. 13 on the board for OG. And almost back-to-back aces. That was the first ace of ESL 1 Cologne. We just got it courtesy of Mantu. And we almost had a follow-up from Valde just moments later. Sadly, cut short. But a damn good try, right? Valde holding this close angle. That flash from Alexibi is perfect as well. Like, he's like the king of, you know, he's so injured in that round there. Like, really, Alexibi's round should pretty much be over, but he still finds a way to help his teammates out, help them stay safe in those kind of moments and make those big plays happen. So that's why we love him. NIP, they are sweating right now. Like, this went from being like, all right, guys, comfortable jog to the finish. Well, no, they've looked in the mirror. They've seen OG sprinting up the inside lane, and now things are getting a little bit worrying. Reinvestment back in for Nip. And this is where it all gets decided, it feels like.
Yeah, it's not a pretty buy, though. 3 kills, man. That is not what you want at 14-13. They might even have to play for OT, Harry. If they lose this round with no bomb plant, it's only loss bonus. It's 4 loss bonus, but that's not enough. So bomb plant almost a requirement, and if not, we're getting a 30-round game. I think that much is clear by now. We do have a saying, all the rounds. And maybe in the opening game of ESL 1 Cologne 2020, we might get all the rounds and more. I'm all for it.
Right, Mantu. Give us 5 again, man. Let's go. Oh, he sees an arm, and that's all you got to give him. Give him an arm, and he'll take the rest. First kill found for Mantu. Second, there's the follow-up. Helped out now by Issa, and it's a slaughter at short side. NIP, they get given the short end of the stick. 14 on the board for OG. AWP repurchased up for Mantu. No money for the Nip boys. And suddenly, this scary situation that OG were in on their map pick, a strong start that just flattened out in the middle. You know, that's all forgettable now. Like, we can sweep that aside. They are back, they are in the server, and they are poised to reach map point first. They should be getting there. With all the pieces of the puzzle now falling into place, it only feels like a matter of time. So now the spotlight is on NIP. Can they be the ones to be in that same position on the back foot, no money, running out of ideas? They're the ones who have to try and make a comeback of their own happen to try and lock in OT, it feels like at this point.
They're not buying, they're on an eco, Harry. They're half buying. They've got lots of utility, but that is it. Some pistols and only one Kevlar player, that's Nork. Boy, oh boy, this is a great game to start off. It's nice to see Issa having a lot of success despite the potential ping problems. You know, he was in the pit, getting heavy naded out by NIP. Since that point, he's moved over to balcony, and he has always found opening kills up on this position. Fast B play, though, for NIP. Molotovs coming down at the right place at the right time will send them right back. OG not going to be moving too much themselves, still holding a standard default. Mantu is playing library. Passive position against pistols will be good. Also means he has a very fast rotation towards B, as fast as they really get on Inferno, if things come through towards his site, and they look like they will. Plopsky, ouch. The Magnet Man receives a grenade to the face. Now OG, nothing to do but sit back and wait.
It's going to be a B play. And with Valde and Alexibi here, yeah, that's a pretty terrifying twosome to run up against. And it gets even more scary when you look at the fact that they've held on to these smokes the entirety of the round. That there could make all the difference, because you're going to leave NIP in a situation where they have to push a smoke. If they want to get into B, they've got to run in blind. And running in blind versus a man like Alexibi is a pretty terrifying idea. Flashes are going to come on in. They're going to try and return the favor. As now they look to line these up and go, but Alexibi is the furthest thing from blind. There's the first, the bomb dropped. It is a complete and utter disaster. This round comes to a crashing halt. Alexibi gets OG to map point 15-14. But this game still feels like it's far from over, Hugo.
Oh, it's got some legs, all right, Harry. And NIP, they've got some money to get us there. Maybe overtime, as they call in their last tactical timeout. Oh, sorry, one more after this, but we'll see if it'll be needed or not. Alexi B, I love that as well. Once a flash comes in, he's looking into the wall, he dodges it. NIP are so focused on getting into that CT spawn. We see teams do that more and more. I think Fury are a great example of a team that love to smoke deep CT and go for this wrap. Alexi B lets 2 men pass. He then kills the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But those 2 players that wrap get caught by Valde at the back of Coffins. He watches the ruins. He doesn't let them ruin his round. And OG, 15 has been found. AWP continuing for Mantu, none for Nork. He bought heavy in the previous. He knew he couldn't get it here. It was by design. And this is where it all comes to a close. Or maybe we start the clock over again. 30 rounds deep. NIP 1 round behind. It's OG's map pick, and we can see why.
Oh, Alexabee's picked up the secondary AWP here, taking it over towards B. That's interesting, right? This is quite the round to throw in a curveball like that for OG. And he falls off early on. Oh, get it out of here. Get the AWP out of play, and now he's on to the AUG.
Mind games. There's an AWP at B, guys, for sure. Mantu's at B. And if he's not, then I have.
Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely going to be interesting, right? Because you imagine if they start to fire out with some of these other weapons, it's like NIP, they're going to go, well, there's 3 on B. Let's fall back into an A play. And that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah, worth noting, after he shoots the AWP shot, he doesn't swap out to an M4. He has an AUG. So, like you said, 3 different guns can fire on this B bomb site. That is a huge mind game for OG. And as long as they shoot their shots, as long as they make that known, NIP, that's going to force them into the A stack.
Let's see, I mean, you know, they say all's fair in love and war, but I don't know if little mind games like that are entirely fair. It feels gross, and I love it. OG, they get smoked off over here at long. Hampus is going to try and wrap around. He's going for another one of these long flanks, but he's going to encounter heavy resistance in the process. Hampus shutting down Mantu. Overtime still on the cards. A B play looking to come in, and right now all the pressure for that is on Alexa B. He falters Valde. While he does get one, this B site has crumbled. There's not a smoke for CT, but that gives open lines of sight to Rez. And now MBK and Issa going to try and do all they can to deny overtime in this matchup. It feels impossible, but can they get it done? MBK's down, and this now all falls onto Issa.
Against them all, the odds stacked heavily in the favor of the Swedes, and Issa surely no chance to get back into this round. Alexi B play close to the smoke, and NIP, they know about it. He's been doing that round after round. They shut it down, and with him being the only player inside of B, considering Valde was trying to assist Mantu on long, they've lost the B site, they've lost the round, and NIP have taken us to 30+ on our opening matchup of ESL 1 Cologne. We're going OT, we're seeing all the rounds and more. And that is perfect, Harry, as far as I'm concerned.
It's day 1, it's map 1, there was ace 1, and now we get overtime 1 as well. It is a day of firsts, and my word, I couldn't be happier. This is, like, okay, I still feel like I'm going to wake up in a minute and have to begin the day of starting Cologne. Like, this is the dream matchup to begin things with an overtime in our first map. Money's now no longer a problem. We get to see everyone playing lights out, and Nork, well, that shuts the lights out for Alexa B. A world of darkness now for OG is what they're plunged into. They lack the information as to what's going on, and that's where Issa and Mantu are going to look to try and make a bit of a difference. They've gone aggressive into the apartments. They have this deep old angle to get the information, try and lend a bit of a helping hand to the rest of OG. This allows them to stack 2 players in the B site, and Valde through the smoke. Wouldn't even know it was there. Issa hears them running around in mid, and he gets one. Twist falling. Hampus did sneak by, but Issa, I'm pretty sure he knows. I'm pretty sure he saw that, right?
Mantu actually dropped right out of the apartments to deal with that in case he came up short, but it's a long lurk, and Valde again has been so good catching these lurking players. Oh no, the timing, it doesn't get worse than that. Valde looks away as Hamper sneaks into the back line, and Harry, there's only one player at B. There's only MBK sitting here alone. He's looking at the banana. Oh, and that smoke is even better. Valde's got his knife out. Oh, Hampers has heard him, and he's gonna get the kill. still, NIP, somehow they give up their trap card, but they are wrapping the back of the site. MBK needs to do it all alone, and Hampus is going right through the smoke. Rez peeking with him. That's an excellent play for NIP. It all goes wrong for OG, and now a 2-on-3 retake to save the day.
And Mansu ain't even moving. You know, it's overtime, but he's like, guys, I'm not giving up the AWP. I hope you understand. And well, with shots like that, maybe you understand why. Nork locks it in. It's 16 on the board for NIP. And just a heartbreaking way for that round to slip away from OG. Valde missing the timing, not once, but twice, and then getting caught on the rotation by Hampus. That is a horrific way to have that first round of OT go against you.
Especially considering that's how we got to OT. Valde in that position, you know, he does get that trade kill in the previous round after Mantu drops, but at that point, they'd lost B, they'd lost Alexi B, and I guess MBK was Alexi B in this round. And NIP just take that B bomb site. Once they figured out the weakness, they have been hitting it round after round. And just look at this highlight. It's not a highlight, it's a low light for Valde at least. He walks away, Hampus clears it. Hampus then hears Valde running with his knife out, unaware, and turns around and the AK comes out on top. Excellent stuff. Showing you how close these rounds can come in Counter-Strike. Just a second decision, a split-second decision can make all the difference. NIP leading by 1.
And suddenly, any like aggression is just tapered right off for OG. Like, they're so passive in this A site. There's no peeks from Mantu into mid. They're now looking to play this one by the numbers. Mantu's actually completely switched it up and gone in towards this B site. He's holding it solo with that AWP. That's afforded a 4-man stack in towards A. And so NIP heading here early on, they hear that Molotov tag as well up in the apartments. MBK, moment that happened, he comms that to the rest of the squad. They know that there's players in the apartments. There's boost at porch side. Valde giving over a double. And still a threat, still a danger. Issa gets heard by the molly. They know that he's here, but he Molotovs out the top of mid to buy some time. There we go. He's buying time. That's what he's doing. He gets away, and there's Valde with even more. 4 in the round. His second 4K. And 31 kills to his name, 16 for OG. Valde, the hero that maybe they needed.
He's had enough, and I like to see that change from OG as well, right? Not just Mantu solo AWPing B, which is a big risk considering how many rounds have ended up on B on NIP's T side, but finally OG cross-firing for middle. Even though 2 of those kills are through smoke, like, it doesn't get more random than that. But OG, they've constantly been getting caught by these lurks out long into archway in so many of these rounds. So finally they fight for it, and they do well at that. 16-16, the mid crossfire finds success, and OG go right back towards a double B. In expectation that NIP will do the same, right? That's been their bread and butter. Heavy apartment setup. Twist is waiting for it. Mantu's done the angle, and he is just waiting for this repeat from Twist as the spam comes through. Oh dear.
Oh no, Twist. It's not the pretty sight we were hoping for. And so the advantage given over to OG. Now the rest of NIP stacked up outside of this B site, and Valde gets deleted. Alexa B is going to drop a smoke. Does catch Rez through it, continues spamming Nork. Now taking up this angle, peeks on in, doesn't get away with the kill, and a nice nade onto Plopsky. Rotations coming through. And critically, that bomb is down at the bottom of Banana. This rotation from Hampus is going to take so long to come into this B site that by the time he gets there, these smokes have faded. Plopsky and Hampus are able to replenish them at the very, very least. But OG, they are knocking on the door of B. They are ready to go with this retake. Nork going to try and hold the smoke, but it's not even needed. Alexa B besting Hampus, following up with another. And it's 17 for OG. Fast on their feet. They get in with the retake before the bomb is even down. And now they sit in the lead at the end of the first half of OT.
I love that call from Alexa B to just go in aggressively. He's never scared to take those fights. And knowing that NIP, being a man down already, you know, they've got some pressure. They've likely got smokes in their hands. And as you said, the bomb coming in late. I mean, that was just perfectly poised for Alexa B to come through ruins rather, as the smoke faded. OG leading by 1 for round number 4 on OT. Twist getting a run boost up for Rez, but it's going to miss. Won't be able to get up in time. The AWP up in apartments. Nork had a lot of success here in regulation, but this time a missed shot and some spam damage back to 50. He will fall off. OG putting a lot of early pressure up on this A bomb site. It's been a long time since they were on this T side, but if you do remember, they found the opening 6 rounds and ended with 8 at the half.
Whoa. Alexa is so scary on these entries. Nork, good for one, back in the site. And now the push looking to come through. Issa quietly down into the pit, and no one actually aware that he's so deep. Issa shuts down Rez. Alexa B comes in from long, and this A site gets completely pincered into. Everybody falling. Plopsky and Hampus left scratching their head like, guys, what happened to A? How did it go so wrong so damn quickly? Plopsky, and with a bit of a response to put us back into a 2-on-3. The odds still against NIP. As now they try and get back in at the end of this round. It's either going to be 18 for OG. Match point on the line. Plopsky trying to make all the difference. Good for one. Continues spraying. Looking for a bit more. 10 bullets left, though. And Alexa B with a triple. It's 18 for OG.
Yeah, OG just know what they're looking at and know what they're doing on that A site when they go in for the execute. This game has been the battle of the in-game leading long lurks. Hampers splitting CT in so many T rounds. This time it's Alexa B coming up on long. Issa drops pit, makes a bit of a ruckus, draws the attention of Nork on the site, and Alexa B just comes in for the backstab. I love these crossfires from OG, and wrapping the A site has been such a nuisance for the Swedes. Double AWP is back out. Hampus and Nork once again. One per site. Hampus over on B. And OG, they're going to double nade him. Oh, that's a problem. He does get out pretty safely. It's 3 nades at the end of things, but only down to 50. He does his best backwards dance and does escape most of the damage. Still softened up for later. OG, they look towards this B site with fire in their eyes and fire at the feet. Hampus is going back in for a little bit more, as he often does, getting flashed out by Plopsky. There's a man close. Valdi's blind behind the wood. Ooh, the wallbang missing. And Valdi's setting up smokes. Hampus can hear this. He can aggress off the back of it, but he will just wait patiently until Valdi swings out wide and takes the kill. Now OG, they can go back towards A, and NIP have sent a rotate on this B bomb site. There's only 2 here left on the A site here for the CT side.
And Valde decides to keep selling this B play, right, to keep their attention here. Plopsky has checked Banana. He says, guys, Banana's clear. It's going to be an A play. Valde's heard this. They don't even have to commit at this point in time. There's still a timing where they can go back, they can hit B, and it all hinges on this information that Valde gets. There's that rotation. Now it's happening. Alexa B trying to sell the fake at A. He gets out into the top of middle. Plopsky beginning a silent rotation back into the B site, but it might be too little, too late. The smokes are down. He drops the molly. 25 seconds. They're going to try and wait for it. Smoke now down. They've got to go through. And Plopsky up on the boxes. Good for a double. Issa in with the trade. 15 seconds at a 2-on-3. That bomb has got to go down. NIP trying to keep this game going that much longer. Nork in CT. It looked like he was going to try and take a pot shot there, but bides his time, waits with bated breath back in CT spawn. NIP, can they finish the job that Plopsky started at this B bomb site?
Issa, what a tank. He peeks out wide. He's got a double. It's all on Nork, the AWP in a 1-on-2 to save the map for NIP, to stop OG from taking their pick, and that shot will miss. Only a tag. Valdis shuts it down, and it's OG to find Inferno. Their map in the series. What a start to it.
First best of 3, first ace, first OT, and OG emerge victorious. What a game, what a way to start ESL 1 Cologne. OG picking up their map pick. There's still more CS to come though. Do not go anywhere. There's no way you'd rather be right now. Join us after the break for even more Counter-Strike.